Hussein and Prof, you were looking for some sort of message from Nana Akufo-Addo as well as President Mahama. We've got that from Nana Addo. Is that satisfying enough?
I think yes, coming out is good. And that's exactly what we asked for in the earlier session. I think he did ask his supporters to calm down. But frankly, I think he went a little bit overboard in making his remarks sound like a victory speech. Of course, he did acknowledge that they have to be patient to wait for the confirmation by the Electoral Commission. But implicit in the other statements was like it's all over. That perhaps is a part that I think perhaps he could have moderated that stance. But speaking to the supporters, I think it's proper. And I'm hoping that his supporters will take the real message, which is that be calm, behave like a good Ghanaian, avoid anything that will rock our nation. That I think was good.
And I think the message sends a clear signal to the people of this country to be calm, particularly his supporters. My assessment is that he initially sought to keep that statement within those parameters. Be calm, let's wait for the EEC to declare the elections. I think he was caught up in the mood. And then, of course, it sounded almost like a victory speech. But also sending signals about some policy indications. The important thing, however, is that he's told his people to be calm, and I think by extension, the people of Ghana. I was particularly struck by the very funky religious music that was played
after his speech.
Yes, that seemed to sort of sound or round up that here we are, this is for us, it's in the bag. But be that as it may, we haven't heard from the president, but the Secretary General, General Mosquito, has spoken. His demeanor did not represent the usual boisterous, sharp-tongued, self-confident Secretary General that we've known. And he didn't tell the supporters to be calm. He told them to be confident. And I was quite struck by his choice of words. But even more importantly, that he focused more on the nature of the electoral roll.
Yes.
Which I think ought to have been a pre-voting conversation.
Exactly.
But also coming from him tonight was particularly interesting because I think he's always been pro the legitimacy of the voters' roll.
Yes.
So it's quite
ambiguous message.
Yes, a very ambiguous message.
I think he said that if people didn't turn up, it means they are dead. Did you hear that? So how do we have dead people on our voters register? When initially they had said that it's actually not bloated, it is fine, it's perfect enough for an election.
Yes. So I think it just reflects the manner in which the leadership of the two parties think the results are panning out. So we saw an MPP leadership and their supporters who were very self-confident, self-assured, knowing that they've got to be calm because calmness now will play in their favor. That is for the MPP. Whilst on the other side, we see another party trying to undermine the legitimacy and the sanctity of the electoral roll. That just about 3 days ago, they had moved heaven and is it hell? Heaven and earth. Heaven and earth. To support and to justify the legitimacy. So, I mean, these are two contrasting messages, one of hope and one of uncertainty.